Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk PMA. I'm Allie.
And I'm Jessica.
Today we do have a very special guest. This is Megan Haugen. She is a collegiate athlete, one of my very best friends. Megan, we're so happy to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Today we are going to go over burnout. Burnout is a very, very prominent thing in sports, and it can be prevented. It can be seen and recognized, and it can really ruin a sport for you. And Megan definitely has some experience with that. So we're very happy to have you here for Burnout. So I want you to go ahead and just give us a little bit about yourself, your college sport experience that you have.
Okay, so I'm 23 right now. I've pretty much been playing sports my whole life. I went to CBC, a college here in Pasco, Washington, and then I transferred up to University of Providence in Montana. So I've been playing mainly basketball and soccer my whole life. So yeah.
Yeah, and you enjoy playing college sports?
I do. It's a lot, but it's worth it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So when you say it's a lot, what does that mean?
A lot of time commitment for sure. You definitely have to learn about time management because that's something that I struggled with too for a while. But once you get the hang of it, it's worth it. For sure.
So go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say time management. So tell us a little bit about what it was like when you didn't have time management and what it was like when you figured that out. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, so the school and sports balance was hard for a while. I would either not plan enough time for homework or I wouldn't consider it. So after planning out things, I found that it works a lot better for me, at least.
So what do you do to plan it? Do you
Just use like a calendar?
Yeah, I use my big whiteboard, and then I have all of my homework assignments written down for the week, and then I have there's like a second part that's the calendar part, and I can write down when my practices are, games, stuff like that, so I can plan in advance around that.
And with the travel and everything too, add it all up.
Mhm.
So did you find that I know we're kind of getting off, but when you figured that out, did you realize that you have more time in your schedule because you are more planned out and that you maybe have more free time because you can get all those things done on your calendar and you aren't procrastinating as much?
Yeah, for sure. I normally get all of my assignments done because there's like specific days at our school, at least, for when assignments are due. So I can plan. I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is just straight homework, and then the rest of the week is for everything else. And I normally get my homework done on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
Okay.
That makes everything a lot easier too. And so I want to kind of jump into the burnout here. You went through a period of time where you were burnt out and you stopped playing soccer for a little bit. I want to hear a little about that. Like, what made you realize that you were burnt out?
So yeah, I was always back and forth between soccer and basketball, which sport I wanted to play in college, but with both sports and then going back to back from soccer to basketball practice, it was just a lot for me. And then I actually talked to my old coach because he had experienced the same thing, and he was like, for me personally, I just needed a year or two break, and it wasn't even from the whole sport completely. It was just because there's school ball, there's club, and then if you have two sports, then that's four different things you got to plan for. So he just took off the competitive side of it, and he just played school ball. And so that's what I did. I think it was in middle school was when I took 2 years off of club, and then I just went into soccer, I guess, freshman year. So for school.
Yeah. So what was the difference between, because like obviously playing four different, like I know the same thing, like it's a lot to play that much, like of different sports and everything. What was your feelings, and like did you feel less exhaustion? What kind of feelings did you feel when you were burnt out, and what did you feel when you took your break, or you at least like took things off your plate?
Yeah, so when I was experiencing burnout, it was like me dreading going to practice, which isn't like me. And that was just the main one for me. And then I never wanted to go. I wasn't having fun when I was there. Like
Yeah.
it just felt like a job, and it was not fun at all. And then after I took some time off, I was like, might as well play again in when I was freshman.
Yeah.
And then it was just completely different. Like I loved going to practice. I loved being with my teammates. Yeah, it was just a lot better experience from taking that time off.
So have you experienced anything like that? Because I know that was when you were younger. Have you experienced anything like that now? Feel like your college years, like from community college to university?
Nothing near what I used to now. I mean, there's some times where I'm like, soccer's a lot. We have 2 practices a day and then a lift, or like off seasons. But I mean, it's nothing compared to what it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just really playing it out. And I mean, I know you played basketball and soccer at community college, and it's probably a lot easier being at the university just playing soccer. That takes out like 2 practices and 2 workouts like a day.
literally.
So okay.
So when you are playing so much, you're so constant, right? And so what kind of things, and I know we can probably chime in with this too, is what kind of things do you think you could do? Like if right now you were playing 2 sports and you had all your schoolwork and you had your friends and you had all these things that you wanted to do. And all of a sudden your body's starting to break down and your body's like, I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. I just feel exhausted all the time. What kind of things do you think you could do that would help you get through that?
Yeah, so that's what I did not do when I was experiencing burnout, is I didn't take care of my body. And I think you mentioned that kind of, I think drinking water is super helpful, eating the right things, because if you're not fueling your body with good food after the workout, then it just breaks down your body.
You did not eat very well in middle school and high school.
And I think that's for sure had a big part. Yeah. But
yeah, food's a huge thing. So we don't always think about it. We just think, oh, I'm burning so many calories. I'm working out all the time.
Doesn't matter what I want. Yeah.
But yeah, the grease or the junk food or the whatever is not fueling our bodies, right? It's really actually helping to break down your body even more. And so to really be conscious of, putting those good foods, those fruits and those vegetables and the water and all the things that nourish your body makes such a huge difference in just the performance and how your body feels altogether.
And prevents injuries too.
Yeah, exactly.
And gives your body the tools to be able to replenish itself and to heal itself.
Yeah. I mean, I know my first year playing, I was playing basketball and golf, and alone those 2, I mean, they're opposite, but they overlap at the same time. So it's like a consistent year of just playing sports and working out and doing everything like that. And it takes a toll on you. And once I know I started to feel my body breaking down in high school, as you know, I had a shoulder issue, an injury that I just kind of kept pushing forward through. And then I definitely felt my first year in college, because I was doing so many different things, that my shoulder injury was starting to act up again. And it was kind of like, oh, we'll just keep going. Oh, we'll just keep going. It's, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then I ended up choosing to just play basketball instead of playing basketball and golf. And honestly, it was good, because I couldn't have played my second year. I couldn't have played both because I had shoulder surgery. And so that made like a huge difference. I had to be able to say, okay, I can't do both of these. Like my shoulder physically cannot handle the swing. It cannot handle both of them at the same time. And I think you kind of can notice those things, and you can't just like ignore them. You can't ignore them, and as much as you want to, because you don't want to give up one or the other, or either one or anything, because most of the time you're having such a good time that you don't want to, or you feel a commitment and you don't want to give up on your team or anything like that. But sometimes you have to be able to just stop and like think about yourself. Like yourself and your body and your well-being comes first, especially your mind. And with school and sports on top of it, it can easily become really overwhelming.
Yeah. So how do you feel that your parents put a role into your burnout, or when you took those in junior high, middle school, you took those couple of years off? How did your parents react to when you were like, I just can't do it, I'm not enjoying it anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember how my dad was, but I think my mom was pretty much fine with it just because, I mean, saves them money in the long run. But yeah, she was fine with
She was
it.
supportive.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think, as parents, sometimes we're so involved with our kids and all the sports that they do, and we're just invested, we're invested in them, and we're having fun watching them. We're having fun, doing all the things with them that we don't, at least I know for us, we kind of got into it, and we don't always see when you're tired,
Mhm.
when our
Yeah.
kids are not having as much fun, or we just think it's just a mental game. You're just you need to suck it up and deal with it. It's not the case. If you're not having fun, like you said, if you took that break and then you went back and you're like, oh, I could have
I
rejuvenated
remember how
myself.
much or why I enjoy the game.
Yeah, exactly. And so as parents, for us to be able to really listen to our kids and be able to be like, why are you not having fun anymore? What can I do to help? Is it a matter of, what if we just took out the rec? What if we just took out the extras? Would you still want to play school ball, or would you just want to play rec ball? Whichever, but to be a parent and really be aware of what our kids are going through and take ourselves out of the whole, I'm having fun watching my kids, having fun being interactive with our kids, and really step back and say, what's my kid going through?
Yeah. I had a conversation with one of my parents the other day. One of my sixth graders, she's like a literal prodigy. And so she spends like every waking moment in the gym.
Mhm.
And she's in sixth grade, and she literally had a triple double last weekend. Like, she's putting in so much work and is constantly going. And her mom was talking to me about it, and I was telling her how much I worried for some of these club kids about burnout, because it's so sad to see kids burn out before they even get to high school,
Mhm.
because they put in so much work, but they never take a break. And she was like, how do I know when to say yes, keep going, you need to push, or when do I say, okay, let's take a break? And I think honestly, you just really need to like watch. I think watching kids, coaches, parents, anybody, you need to really just see, are they enjoying it? Are they dreading it? Are they fighting you to go to practice? Do they look upset? Do they look sad? Or do they look exhausted? Is there other things going on in their life that they haven't been able to like work through mentally or physically? I think there's all these little factors, and I was like, if you really just watch and you see the little things that change, give them a break. Give them, even if it's just like, you don't have to go to practice today. You can go the next practice. Give them one time a week or once every couple weeks or whatever that they need, but give them time to rejuvenate. And I think the holiday season is a perfect time to get a break. And it also kind of can remind you, I know whenever we had break, I always felt so good coming back.
Mhm.
It sucked coming back,
Yeah.
but when I went back, it was just like, oh, this is why I love the game. This is fun. And I think giving even just a couple weeks of a break can like reduce burnout in a significant way.
Well, and you touched on it too, having fun, just giving ourselves, getting out of our heads, when you're an athlete and you want to perform, you want to do better, you want to get better,
You're competitive.
you want to be competitive. So you push yourself over the top, and fun doesn't stay in the game, right? And so, as a parent, or even as athletes, being able to be aware of, I just need time to have fun. I just need to take a break for a second, just to go. Maybe it's just going out and hanging out with your friends. Maybe it's going and delivering something to neighbors, or doing something good for somebody else, or whatever it is. But just having that time to enjoy life for a second, and not be so overwhelmed and overconsumed with that competitive nature that you're in. I always want to please my parents, or I want to please whatever, or I just want to push myself above and beyond, to the point where I can't perform anymore because I'm burnt out. I'm not enjoying anything.
Yeah.
And so
I know I used to, my like fun, what reminded me of the fun was when I used to go to the gym and I just played pickup games with all these old guys.
Mhm.
It was so much fun for me. Like once I found it, and it was just kind of like a reminder, it's like a fun competitive. There's no expectations. Like, yes, I know what I want to do and what I can do, but also it's really cool for yourself to see when other people understand how good you are, or like see your abilities that have never seen you before. And then it's just kind of like less pressure because they don't expect anything of you because they don't know. They have no idea. And so I know that was one of my favorite things, was going out and just having like a fun pickup game. A fun pickup game shows so much fun, and it just takes away so much pressure off of you. So even just doing something like that, a light game or whatever.
Right. So Megan, what do you do to have fun now, like at college and stuff, like during season? How long is your season? Let's go there first.
It's normally like 2.5, 3 months.
So what do you do during your 2.5, 3 months? Are you just constantly playing sports, or do you try to let yourself have a little fun during that time too?
Yeah, both. We also, as a team, we go out and we do stuff together. Like there's an ice rink there, so we go ice skating or we go bowling or stuff like that. That doesn't really involve soccer.
Mhm.
And then we have the gym, and we go inside and we play futsal, and we just basically us and the guys team, and we just go mess around, have fun, which is really good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's a good stress reliever.
Yeah.
Another thing that can contribute to burnout is the people you're surrounded by, which your team is. You're surrounded by them most of the time, especially in college. I mean, no matter what team you're on, you spend most of your time with them.
Mhm.
So do you have a solid team? Like, are you guys all friends? Is it like kind of toxic? Is it not toxic? How is like that aspect of it?
Mhm. Yeah, we're definitely we all get along pretty well. There's a couple people that are homebodies that don't really hang out as much, but for the most part, we all hang out together and we get along really well. We also have the on-campus apartments, and then we all are on the same floor,
Oh,
which
that's
is really
nice.
nice. We can just open the door and go across the hall, and there's
Yeah.
our other teammates. So yeah, it works really well.
That makes a really, really big difference. I've been on teams that did not have the best, and that made the sport less fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, be nice to your teammates. I mean, you all have the same goals. So
Mhm.
Right. So let's go over just the basics for preventing burnout. Right. So how do you prevent burnout? Number one,
I would just say always be watching. Always be watching emotions, attitude, physical, abilities, appearance. Are you dreading being there? That's the first step you can do, is really just pay attention and be aware. From there, I would definitely say if you notice that you are exhausted, or you're noticing that your kid's exhausted or your player's exhausted, give them a break, or don't go as hard on them that day, because everyone's out here doing their best. What other things do you think that you can do to prevent? What would you suggest for everybody?
Just surrounding yourself with the right people, honestly, and try and interpret, if you are being burnt out, like try and interpret something with your sport that's more relaxed and that doesn't matter as much. Like you said, like a pickup game, or like indoor futsal for us. It's something big.
So do something that's fun, surround yourself with good people, and just be cautious.
well, and then that time management part is a
Time
big part of it.
management, yeah.
So make sure that you are practicing that time management, because if you aren't, you get scattered,
Mhm.
and
Becomes stressful.
becomes stressful, and that creates burnout as well.
Yeah.
And feel your body.
And feel
Your body.
Yes.
There's a million different steps that contribute to burnout and to just being an athlete in general. Parents can get burnt out, coaches can get burnt out, everybody can get burnt out. Just stay cautious and just understand that you're here to have a good time, to get better. But if you're not having fun, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah, listen to yourself. Your bodies will tell you, your minds will tell you. So just make sure you're listening to what your body's saying.
So those are the steps that we have that you can take for burnout. Just be cautious and just listen to yourself and to your bodies. Megan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it was really great to have you. Again, we do have our workbook coming out. Don't forget to like and subscribe and go check out all of our Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. We have lots of other tips and tricks and other ways that you can contact us or watch us on there. And we hope everyone has a happy new year and had a great Christmas. And we'll see you guys next week.